everyone, it's Leslie from Lolabelle, and today we're going to be looking at how to make a coil to decorate your pendants with. So if you want to see how I created this, stick around. So making a coil, we're going to use a 0.8mm and a 0.4mm to start with. So start about 2 inches away from the end of your wire and just start wrapping your 0.4mm around your 0.8mm wire, stopping every now and then, just smushing it all together so it looks nice and tidy. One of the reasons I say start at the end of your wire is because it's easier for you to move your hand around the end rather than doing big movements, because you're trying to avoid a long tail on this end. So by having just an inch or two at this end free, it just allows you to whip your hand around nice and quickly without having to make big movements in order to avoid catching that tail. So depending on how long you want your coil to be will depend on how much you need to wrap, but we'll just go for like an argument's sake inch or so long one today, just to give you the tools you need to build it. Okay, so smushing everything down, and then all you're doing is you're just sliding the actual woven part down the wire, so you've always got like an inch or two at the top. Good. So it's not difficult, but it does require a little bit of patience. So we just want to keep wrapping, get as many wraps down this wire as we can. So coils are really nice on sort of more bold, almost like statement pieces. I do use them, not huge amounts, but a few of my pendants have got coils on. And you can make coils of different sizes. So if you want to use a smaller gauge wire, you can obviously make a much smaller coil. But yeah, just for the purpose of today's video, we're using a 0.8mm base wire and a 0.4mm weaving wire, and then we will use a 0.5mm wire towards the end as well. Okay, so keep building up, so you can see we've got a bit of length there now. Loose off this a little bit. Some people do use drills, but I always find you end up with lumps and bumps in your wrap. You can end up with lumps and bumps when you do it by hand, but you've got more control over where your wraps are going if you are doing it by hand. Okay, we'll go into the last little bit now. So what we want when we've wrapped as much of our wire as we need is we need a tail at both ends, because we need to be able to connect it to our pendant that we are decorating it with. So just slide it all down a little bit more there. Hopefully the sun is not glaring too much on the camera, because it's beaming right in the window at the moment. Right, so we've got a nice amount there, just for demonstration's sake. And we're just going to cut the ends off of the weaving wire and get everything nice and tidy. Make sure there's no sharp ends, we don't want sharp ends. Okay, so you can see that we've got probably a good 4.5 inches of woven wire. So what I'm going to use to create my weave is this mad crazy little homemade tool. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the wire that we've just wrapped, and I'm just gonna basically attach it to this wire by just wrapping it around once or twice. Nothing mad, just a couple of wraps around in here. So it's just holding the wire, and then all I'm going to do is, this is a bit like a clock key, so you're just going to keep turning it, and we just adjust as we go to make sure that the weave stays nice and tight. So, because what you'll find as well is, as you're, oops, bash the camera, as you're making your weave, the actual wrap around this bit of wire is going to stretch, and it's going to get longer as well. So as you're moving down your coil, your weave is getting further down here, hence why you want a nice big tail, because if there's not enough there, you can end up finding that your wrapped section, oh, the phone light's gone out, your wrapped section will actually extend off of the wire. So then what we do is we just undo this bit up around here, and then this just slides off. So if you want to, I actually made this tool using wire at home, so it is literally just like a turnkey. It's very, very simple. So then what we've got here is a nice compact little coil, and then with the ends you just want to bend them up. So this one's obviously a bit snarly marly now, but just straighten it out, and then this end the same, just bend it up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut that part off, too much there. So you can see we've got this coil now. Now what I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to use some 0.5mm wire, which is up here. Actually, I'm going to use 0.6. I'm going to use 0.6 for today. So what I want to do with my 0.6 wire is we're going to attach it to the end here. So what we want to do is do a few very simple single wraps around, and then build it up so it comes up into in between each level of that coil, and just turn the coil rather than trying to wrap the wire. And then that just gives you the detail going up. And then when we get to the other end, we finish in exactly the same way that we started. So we go round the last bit, which brings us to here, and then we go 1, 2, 3, and then we can cut our ends. Remove the excess, crimp our ends down again, no sharp edges, and that's your coil. So you can use your coil to decorate your pendants. You can shape your coil. You could get a piece of wire that just runs through the middle. So if you haven't got these ends, and then that just gives you something else to attach to your pendant with. But the coil in itself is actually quite simple to create. So you can see there, it's got a little bit of flex. So you can shape it quite nicely to the pendant. And again, if you bring your stone in, just shaping it around your stone however you want to. And then attaching it to your pendant using the little tails that you've saved on each end. So that is how to make a coil. Again, any questions, comments, feedback, anything at all, just let me know in the comments. And if you've liked and subscribed already, thank you very much. If you haven't, please feel free to hit the bell icon, subscribe to the channel. I pop out videos every Sunday evening for you to follow along with. So there you go. Thank you ever so much, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.